Welcome, everybody, to this call, which I have titled Abundant Attitude. I'm so happy to be here with all of you and contribute to your abundance. Okay, so before we start today, I would love to hear from you what, according to you, is abundance. Now, the people who are on my Abundant You coaching program, you're not allowed to give this answer, okay? So, everybody else, what does abundance mean to you? Ever flowing. Nivedita says ever flowing. You can unmute and speak, or you can chat it in. Always available. Okay. You can chat it in, or you can unmute and share. What, according to you, is abundance? Because abundance means different things for different people. Anybody who wants to unmute and share or type it in? Happy within, okay? Happy with everything, okay? Any more responses? What is abundance to you? Always available, always available. Okay. So what is always available? Tell me that. Let's go deeper. What is always available to you? Yes, also the joy. Yeah, you can access it anytime. Okay, what does abundance look like for you? What does abundance feel like for you? What is abundance for you? What does it look like? There's a reason why I'm asking this question. Any other responses? Prosperity consciousness, a tingling goosebump wali energy. Yes. I like that goosebump wali energy. Free flowing. All right. Vastness. Okay. Being satisfied with what you have. Okay. All right. So, when I normally ask this question, what does abundance mean to you? Very often, abundance is related to money, wealth, finances. Like if you have lots of money, you have abundance. Now, for me, what I see is abundance is having plenty of whatever it is that you would love to have, in every aspect of your life, not just money. Yeah. So I know that we all know this theoretically, but a lot of us don't live it practically, which is we all know theoretically that we are abundant beings living in an abundant universe. Yeah. Now, how many of you know that? At least at a theoretical level. How many of you? I see about 3 hands up, now 4 hands up. Yeah. So a lot of us know this theoretically. But are we living it practically is the question. So if I had to ask you, what percentage of your life are you living abundantly, like literally, practically, as an abundant being? What percentage of your life are you living that? Chat it in. Chat it in. What percentage of your life do you get the sense that you are actually living abundantly? Where everything is free flowing, you're happy with what you have, all the things that you've said in the chat. How much of your life are you living like that? Mostly. Nivedita says mostly. 50%. At one point of time, I was barely living 20% of my life as an abundant being. 60%, 75%. Awesome. Do you need to be on this call? Do I need to be doing this call? Okay, someone said hardly. Thank you for your vulnerability and honesty. 40%. Awesome. Okay. So, trying to reach more. Yeah, absolutely. Why not? So let me start with an insight into abundance. Okay. This was something when I recognized it and when I realized it for myself in, as I was training some years ago to be a life mastery consultant with Brave Thinking Institute, which has been founded by my mentor, Mary Morrissey. She's an international author, speaker, and a coach. It was amazing. And I think even with Bob Proctor, I heard the same thing. He says, what we live in an abundant universe. What does that mean? In an abundant universe, everything thrives. Yeah, everything thrives. That is abundance, right? Where there's plenty of everything. Everything is thriving. Yeah. So that is abundance. Now, if you look at the world, yeah, if you look at planet Earth, you will see that anywhere you look around, there are plants, there are trees, etc. Like if you see a crack in the road or crack between rocks on a wall, you will notice that a grass or some wildflower will spring out from there. Okay, because that is the nature of universe. It thrives. Everything thrives. Of course, everything has a cycle too, of birth, of death, and all of that. The nature may be transient, but if you notice, everything in the universe thrives. Okay, so we are also meant to thrive, and we also live in a yes universe. So whatever you think of, yeah, the universe says yes to it. So abundance is not only in thriving. You can also, thriving in a positive way, but you can also thrive in a negative way. What do I mean by that? If your mindset and your is of lack, like if you put your attention on lack all the time, you will thrive in lack. You will be abundant in lack. If you put your attention on prosperity, growth, expansion, yeah, having wonderful things, you will thrive in that. So depending on what you put your attention on is where you thrive. You become abundant. So you can become abundant in lack, and you can become abundant in having what you would love. Please understand this. Your nature is abundance. You will become abundant in whatever you put your attention on. If you understand this bit, then the way you think, the way you function, the way you speak, the actions you take will all shift and change. Because what you put your attention on, the universe reads as your intention. And whatever you put your attention on is where the energy flows. We all have heard this from various teachers, various trainers, various philosophers. We've heard it. But do we actually understand what it means? This is what it means, that whatever I put my attention on is going to thrive, because I am an abundant being living in an abundant universe, and I live in a yes universe. So, which is why we've got to become very aware of what we think, what we say, what we do. Because this energy that has created this entire universe, the source, is actually a formless substance. Okay? Please understand this. I'm sharing with you some very basic principles. It is a formless substance. It is neutral. It has no judgment. Now, this formless substance is intelligent. It is creative. Now, you may know this already. But then, after knowing, what about the practical application part? So how does this formless, creative, intelligent, energy work? It's like, Yeah, we'll come to that, Meenal. Yeah, just remind me if I don't address it later. So now this is a formless substance. Just like water can be molded into a shape in the form of ice by putting it in a tray and putting it in the freezer, similarly, this formless substance can take the shape of whatever you impress upon it. Okay? So, if you're impressing upon it that it's so difficult to make money, it's so difficult to have harmonious relationships, let's say something you're saying repeatedly or you're thinking repeatedly, the more you impress upon that formless substance, that thought, the more and more and more it starts taking the shape of that thought. And by the law of sufficiency, wherein you have put enough of that thought, yeah, it'll, when it reaches that point of sufficiency, it will take on a physical form. Like if I have to give you an example, if you put water on the gas stove to boil, for a little while, you will not see anything happening. Okay? Because the heating process is on. So more and more and more heat is being applied to the water by keeping the flame on. There will come a moment which is a law of sufficiency, where it meets the law of sufficiency, where the heat is enough for it to turn into a boiling point. So similarly, when we have given enough energy, when we have put a lot of attention on a particular image or a thought, because we think in images very often, it ultimately, if you do enough of it, it takes on a form. So if you're constantly putting your attention on, I don't have enough, I don't have enough, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't, that's what gets created, because the universe reads that as your intention, that her intention is to, I don't have, because that's what you're putting your attention on. So if any time we want to create, yeah, we have to remember I'm an abundant being living in an abundant universe. I live in a yes universe. Whatever I impress upon this formless substance, which is all around me, within me, yeah, it will take the shape of that. So if Meenal is saying that she wants to travel more, but is not able to do that for whatever reason, how does she switch it? So if you were traveling, what would be occurring? And you start impressing that image on this formless substance. Combine it with feelings and emotions, because your thought that you are traveling and you're having this beautiful experience, you're living in a particular kind of a place, and you're having a particular kind of food, and you're enjoying the culture and all of that. You get the whole image of that travel, and you impress upon that. Your thought becomes an electric field as a frequency. And when you feel happy, grateful, excited, joyous, just thinking about that travel as if you're already doing it, you create a magnetic field. So what you overall create is an electromagnetic field. And whatever is your electromagnetic field, whatever vibration that is, by law of resonance, it draws to it everything that is of a similar nature. Okay? So the more you impress you already traveling or having traveled, and that image and that feeling and that emotion on that formless substance, there will come a moment when it will actualize into a reality. So I've had a lot of my coaching clients actualize things like apartments, travel, money, health, relationships, using these principles. Okay, these are principles of creation. There are certain laws that govern our universe. If you're familiar with the law and if you stay in harmony with those laws, there is no way that you cannot create what you would really love. Okay? Of course, all your creations are also very much in alignment with whatever soul growth path you have chosen. So there are certain things that will occur which do not even look good to you, but they are important for you to get to where you would really want to get to. but that's a very deep and a separate topic, so I'm not going to go there today. So to be able to create what works for you, what you would love, you can function from a certain mindset. When I say mindset, what do I mean? Mindset is how I think, what I say, right? Because that's what then creates the feelings, the emotions. All right. And the combination of your thoughts and the feelings and emotions, elated, high vibration emotions, high vibrational thoughts are what attract to you what you would love, which is a high vibrational ask. So you can't be sitting and complaining and cribbing and focusing on, I don't have, and this is not possible, this is so difficult, and expect wonderful, wonderful things to happen for you. All right. You have to be a match to what you're asking for. And so to be a match to what you're asking for, the mindset that you've got to have is this abundant mindset. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a few things that I do myself, okay, that I function from myself. And I teach it to all my coaching clients and all my coaching programs. And I'm not saying 100% of them have success, but all people who actually apply and do the work, they definitely see breakthroughs and successes. Okay. So I would put it down at about 60-65% of the people actually have had those kind of breakthroughs. The rest have had, but minor ones. If they step up, they would have bigger ones. Okay. So the first thing to understand is that what I'm impressing upon that formless substance is the shape that it will take. It has no opinion, no judgment. It doesn't say, but you were saying that you wanted to have a happy relationship, but what you're impressing upon me is complaints, judgments. These are not a match to a happy relationship, So it doesn't have an opinion. It says, oh, that person in my life, such a, rascal and so troublesome and so difficult. This person is so difficult to deal with. This person irritates the hell out of me. Now, that's what, if you're impressing, it says, okay, you are, what you're impressing upon me is this frustration, this upset with this person, difficult relationship, troublesome relationship. Here you go. I'll give you. It doesn't have a judgment that, listen, you want harmonious relationship, but you're impressing upon me trouble, frustration, disharmony. So it's like whatever seed you sow, the universe will give you that same, produce. If you sow the seeds of a potato, you will get potato. You will not get red peppers, broccoli, and things like that. So what seed are you sowing? So every thought, every word, every deed is a seed that I sow. So when I sow it, I reap a equivalent, harvest, produce. So at all points of times, what should be my thought process? What should be my words? They should be exactly what you would love, not what you don't like. Now, what you don't like, you need to know. It has to be in your awareness that these are the things that are not working for me, but I would love to have this instead. So you have to have an awareness of what doesn't work for you to know what you would really love. Okay? So when you know what you would really love, put your attention on what you would love. Yeah? So at all points of time, your thoughts should be about being happy, being grateful that you have that as your reality. Because the moment you decide that this is what I would love to have, what you love to have by the law of supply already exists in the universe in an energy form. The moment you put your attention on what you would love, by the science of quantum physics, it turns into matter. simply by you observing it, by you seeing it, by you thinking it, by you feeling it, by you connecting with it. It turns into matter, but it turns into matter at a quantum level. Now, if you would like to create it as a physical reality, you've got to energize it. You've got to put your attention on it enough for it to become your physical reality eventually when it reaches the law of sufficiency. Okay? So, abundant mindset is about abundant thinking, abundant speech, abundant feelings. So, like some of you mentioned in the beginning, and this is why I was asking you all those questions, because I wanted to get a hang of where you were with regards to abundance. So you're talking about joy, right? If you were living an abundant life, how would you feel? You would feel joyous, you would feel happy, you would feel grateful, you may feel excited, you may feel relieved, you may have a sense of peace, you may have a sense of calm. So please recognize that when you are asking for something, like when Meenal talked about travel, it is, what is she really asking for? What would she really love to have actually is the experience that she has when she travels, that fun that she has, that joy that she has, that, happiness that she feels being in nature or going on those rides or enjoying that yummy food or having a luxurious stay, whatever that may be. So, what is she really asking for is that experience, that feeling of happiness, that feeling of joy, that feeling of fun, that laughter, those experiences. That's what you're hankering for. Travel is just the means, the medium. That relationship that you're asking for is just the mean, is just the medium. So you've got to create that experience where you are right now, if you want to have that as your reality. So, what do I mean by that? Imagine as if you already have it. So, one of the statements that you can use is, I'm so happy and grateful now that. I'm so happy and grateful now that. So, like, for example, my ask was happy, healthy, vibrant, energetic body, right? So it was like, I'm so happy and grateful now that I have a happy, healthy, energetic, vibrant, fit, strong body. And every day I'm seeing myself, strong, fit, healthy, energetic. I'm seeing myself do things if I had a healthy body, if I had an energetic body. And then every day I'm feeling grateful, I'm feeling happy, I'm feeling joyous, I'm doing. So in my thinking, I'm being that mindset. In my words, I'm saying those things. And in my feelings, in my actions, I am doing those things. So you do what you can from where you are with what you have. So if I was healthy, what would I do? I would swim, I would go for walks, I would dance, I would eat healthy, I would look after myself. Yeah, I would not abuse my body. So, what can I do today? So, if today I can walk 10 minutes, I will take that action of walking 10 minutes as if I have a healthy body. Yeah. So, not only do I think it, not only do I feel it, but I also act it out to the extent that I can from where I am with what I have. Everybody understood this? So, like, let's say if your ask is a happy, joyous, harmonious relationship. So, if you had that relationship, how would you be treating that person? With disrespect or with respect? With love or with judgment and hatred and irritation? How would you treat that person like that now, today? So, you have to be abundant in your thought, abundant in your emotions and feelings, and abundant in your actions. Okay. So if you were enjoying an abundant relationship, what would that look like? If you were enjoying abundant health, what would that look like? If you were enjoying abundant money, what would that look like? What would that feel like? And then do what you can from where you are with what you have. Okay. So this is one of the very crucial steps in creating your life. being in harmony, being congruent with the prosperity, the thriving that you're asking for. Okay. Very soon, I'm launching a series called Thrive, Thrive Despite. When I didn't have a rupee in my pocket and I was on the road, okay, despite that condition, I rose up and I thrived. And I've gone on to have multiple businesses and thriving businesses, okay? Despite the fact that I had some horrific relationships, saw a lot of emotional, mental abuse and stuff. Today, despite that, I have thrived and I have created fabulous relationships in my life. Okay. Despite the fact that the doctors told me that there was not much hope for me since I have what is called a fourth stage cancer situation, multiple organs gone, and organs filled with tumors and completely written off. Despite the diagnosis, I have risen above it and I am thriving in this beautiful body of mine. Okay. With the energy I want, with the vibrancy I want, swimming, walking, dancing, everything that I want to do. So I know that all of us are abundant, infinite beings. We are creative beings. That substance, that divine creative intelligence, that power that has created this entire universe flows through us and as us. Now, those of you who attended my programs, you heard this hundreds and thousands of times. And I will never stop saying it because no amount of repetition is ever enough. We need that reminder again and again. Yeah. So at all points of time, your mindset should be that, there's a power within me, there's a divine creative intelligence within me, which seeks expression through me. And it knows how to create whatever that dream in my heart is, because that dream is not really mine. That dream is actually that intelligence seeking its own expression through us and as us. Okay. So this is the kind of a mindset that you need to have if you would like to create wonderful things in your life. Okay. Yeah. Then another attitude that you've got to have is a giving attitude. This is a law. You cannot escape it. It functions whether you know it or not. Just like if today you stand in your window and you jump, like let's say you're in a high tower and you jump. Are you going to go flying or are you going to go down to the floor? You're going to go right down to the bottom. Why? Because there's something called the law of gravity which governs this planet. Now, whether you understand the law of gravity, whether you're aware of its existence or not, it is still functional. Okay. So there is a law that you do not get till you give. So the mindset that you've got to have is a giving mindset. Now, what do I mean by giving? Yeah. It's like, let's say you want to light a fire in the fireplace and you say, I want the fire. Will you get the fire till you give wood to it? You won't get the fire. You will have to first give the wood, right, into the fireplace. Yeah. And then only it can give you back fire. Until you give the wood for the fire, you're not going to get the fire. So the mindset should be a giving mindset. Giving what? Whatever you want more of. You want more of money? First, give money. You'll say, but Smriti, I don't have money. How do you expect me to give? Whatever money you have, give some percentage of it. And which is why there is a concept called tithing, which has come down centuries. It's not new. It's come down centuries where they say that you should give 10% of your income to causes, that you want to support. So why do we give? Why do they ask you to give? Because everything has been gifted to you. All your prosperity, all the abundance, all the luxuries, everything that you enjoy in your life has come from where? It has come from the universe. It has come from that one source from which everything comes to you. Okay? We are also coming from that same source. So you have been given so much by that source. Whether you call it God, you call it source, you call it universe, you call it creator, whatever you want to call it, divine intelligence. Everything has been given to you, right? So it has never said, why should I give you? You don't even pray. You don't even think of me. You don't even appreciate me. Why should I give you? No. We live in a abundant, generous, compassionate universe. It gives and it gives and it gives. The trees give you oxygen. The clouds, the mountains, everything together through a process give you the water. The plants, the trees, they give you fruits, they give you vegetables. Nothing is held back from you. You have inherited heaven, you've inherited kingdom, you've inherited abundance. You're a child of God. Nothing has been, you know, restrained. Nothing has been limited to you. It's your attitudes that keep you from having the abundance. That is your birthright. The prosperity, that is your birthright. But the universe is always a yes universe. Universe gives you whatever you ask for. So if you're focusing on lack, it gives you lack. If you're focusing on prosperity, it gives you prosperity. It never holds back. So why do we tithe? Just that's the nature. The nature is to give. So we give back as a token of our appreciation, of our gratitude. Now, when you give, what are you saying? I have. Because you have, you can give, no? If you didn't have, would you give? Because you have, you give. So when you give from that heart, I have, I would love to give you some. I would love to share some. I would love to gift you some. Your energy is that of, I have. Now, when you are saying, I have, what does the universe give you more of? Here, you have. So you have to give whatever you are asking for. So if you want more money, give money, whatever you can give. Okay? You want more time? I don't have time. I don't have time. That used to be me. Yeah? I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. There's so much on my plate. Then what I did was I said, I'm going to give my time. So as part of my spiritual practice, we give time to visit our members, chant with them, pray with them, study with them, encourage them to face the challenges that they're going through in their life. It takes a lot of your time, right? So I decided that I have a crazy schedule, work schedule, but I'm going to give off my time. And the moment I made that decision and I actually started fixing up the meetings that I would love to come and pray with you, I would love to come and study with you, my time just started expanding. I was able to do all my work and I was able to do all my visits with my members, you know. So the more I gave of my time, the more time I had. Okay. There was another client of mine, one of the coaching clients, and she said, nobody acknowledges me. I said, okay, why don't you start giving, you start acknowledging people, give acknowledgement. And she started doing that as an exercise. And very soon, there were people acknowledging her. Okay. You want more love? First give love. You want more respect? First give respect. So whatever you would love, first give. Yeah. So that is the other mindset that you should have. Giving mindset. Giving of your love, giving of your smile, giving of your courage, giving of your time, giving of your ideas. Like a lot of people say, why should I share my idea? That person will, take my idea and, but there is abundance of ideas. Share your ideas, share your creativity, give, give, give. There's no dearth. When you think, my God, she will take my idea, then she will become successful. Why should I share my idea? Then what are you saying? There is a lack of ideas that you have. You don't have enough. Once your one idea is gone, you will never get any more ideas. No, give. There's plenty of money. From where you had that money that you have right now, there is more there for you to have. There is more ideas, there's more creativity, there's more time. How much do you want? It all already exists. The law of supply says everything exists in infinite quantities. So, what is stopping you from giving? Give. Yeah, so giving is another attitude that you must have. Yeah, happily giving. Okay, not like Smriti told me I have to give, so I will give. No, give from your heart. Give from that place of joy that, wow, I have, and so I can give. Yeah, that attitude I have. Even if I have only $100, but I can give $10 to somebody. Yeah, like that. You can give of your time. Another attitude that goes a long way in creating abundance is gratitude. Okay. Gratitude has the same vibration as abundance. So instead of focusing on what's not okay, what's horrible, and instead of complaining, cribbing, go to gratitude. Now, there are 3 stages of gratitude. The first stage is, I will be grateful when. So I'll be grateful when I get that job. I will be grateful when I have that relationship. I will be grateful when I have that money. Yeah. So you have conditional gratitude. All right. Just give me a second. Then the next stage of gratitude is gratitude for. So you have gratitude for something. Like, I have gratitude for my beautiful home, for my beautiful relationships, for my fabulous body, for the money, for the clients, and everything that I enjoy. Yeah. So I have gratitude for. And you must have gratitude for, definitely. Then there is a third stage of gratitude, which is gratitude in. Now, gratitude in means no matter what is going on, I am grateful. Okay. So whether what is going on in my life is a very tough situation, I am still grateful in that situation. How does gratitude in that situation come about? Like, if somebody had told me this, say 5-6 years ago, I would have said, what rubbish. Do you know what's going on with me right now? Do you know what it feels like to have lost 5 organs from your body? Do you know how much pain I have because of that surgery? Do you know how much trouble I go through because of all the chemotherapy and all the medicines, etc., that I take? How can I feel grateful in this situation? This is so horrible. It is so painful. But now I'm always grateful in any situation. Do you know why? Now, some of you know why, because you heard this in your coaching programs with me. Because now I know that life never happens to us. Life always happens for us. So whatever is occurring in my life, even though it may look tough, hard, ugly, yeah, it holds some good in it. Even though I cannot see that good right now, I will be able to see it later in hindsight. So you think back. There may have been some situations in your life which were very tough situations, but something wonderful came out of that. Either you grew in your strength, you grew in your courage, you grew in your resilience, you became maybe financially independent, you learned to step up, you learned to speak up, yeah, you learned to draw boundaries. You grew in some manner. It benefited you. You somewhere grew. Okay, if you think back, you'll find this true. But that time, could you imagine that that's the growth that would occur for you while you were in that situation? When you were feeling horrible, desperate, perhaps helpless, perhaps powerless, you wouldn't have thought like that. That in the long run, this situation will make me grow. This situation will toughen me up, or this situation will help me become independent emotionally, physically, financially. So, all life situations are our own creations. We are very powerful creators. So, whatever life brings to us is very much in harmony with what we wanted to have as our experience. And in that experience lies the potential for growth, for healing, for transformation, for balancing of energies. So you may not know why this is occurring, but everything that is occurring is our curriculum for growth. It's an opportunity for us to heal, for us to transform, for us to recognize who we truly are, and for us to connect with that power within us, for us to start returning home to oneness, for us to discover our true nature, which is love. And which is why the attitude should be in gratitude, always. When you are in gratitude, what is the message you're putting out? That life is working for me. There is good in this situation. I am open to receiving that good, even though I cannot see it right now. So you are, when you're being in gratitude, you are opening yourself up to the good that that situation holds. So that is the kind of a mindset that you must have to enjoy abundance. An attitude of gratitude. Okay? Is this helping all of you? Is this making sense to all of you? Awesome. Then, I mean, there are many attitudes. There are many, many, many things that I can talk to you about, but I'm just going to be sharing a few today. And another thing, another attitude that you must have is to praise or to be happy for somebody's success. Now, this one can be very difficult. Like very often when somebody has something that you really want and you don't have it, very often we can get into the trap of being envious or being jealous. Now, when you're being envious, when you're being jealous, Kim, I'm going to come back to you, darling. So when I am, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Okay, so when I am being happy okay, when I'm being envious and jealous, yeah, that's where I was. When I'm being envious and jealous, what is my energy? What is the message underneath? I don't have. But when I am happy for someone that they are having, what am I putting my energy on, my attention on? They have. The energy is on having, right? Even if somebody else has it, but the energy, the joy, that I'm so happy that you have that, right? So what happens to your vibration? It becomes a happy vibration. And this person is showing you that it is possible to have something, which means if somebody can ask for it and they can have it, it means it's a possibility that exists in the universe, right? So even you can have it. So they're showing you that it is possible to have this. It exists in the universe. You can also have it. So a lot of gratitude that they show you a possibility that is possible. They show you, that we live in a world which is abundant, where everything that we can ask for, everything that we desire already exists. Okay? So when you are happy for others, your attitude is that of, I'm happy, you have, I'm so happy, which means it's also a possibility for everybody on the planet. Okay? So that energy is very beautiful. And also when you praise somebody, in the word praise lies the word raise. So when you praise somebody, what happens is your vibration gets raised. Now, it's only a high vibration frequency that will be in harmony with that high vibrational ask that you have, that I would love a beautiful, joyous, harmonious relationship. It's a high vibration ask. So your vibration also has to be an equal match. So your vibration has to be joyous, happy, confident, and all of that. Okay. So have this attitude where you celebrate others' prosperity, others' good fortune. Okay. So these are some of the attitudes. If you adopt, I promise you, the abundance that you will experience in your life, the growth, the prosperity will start increasing. But it's important to practice it on a daily basis, not once in a while. Okay. So initially, when I had announced this call, I had nothing in my mind, no program to offer. But when I was doing something this afternoon, suddenly I felt guided and inspired. And it happened only this afternoon, only around 3:34ish. If I look at my time thing when I created the image, it was very late in the afternoon. And I messaged Nena, can you like quickly make this, into a PDF and whatever. So what I did was I designed a 3-week program wherein you can journey with me, where we do 3 calls, okay, 1 call per week, and I share with you how to apply what we have gone through today and more, where we get into the concept in the call. Yeah, I tell you about it. I talk to you about it like I've talked to you about it today, and maybe even in a little more detail. And then we spend the whole week practicing that. So 1 week, we will practice those principles with money, then another week with relationships, and another week with health. So applying all the abundant attitudes, abundant practices in these 3 main areas of our life: money, health, and relationship. So if you would like to sign up and get onto a very practical journey with me, it's available to you. Let me share that, yeah, the details, and then I can take Kim's question and anybody else who has any questions. So Nena, are you ready to share that PDF? Okay, go ahead, then share it. All right. So, Nena, can you scroll it down a little? Yeah. And the image that came to me was root yourself in abundance. Like, establish yourself firmly in abundance because it is your birthright. You've inherited it. Claim it, have it. Okay. So, root yourself in abundance in the area of money, in the area of relationship, and in the area of health. Okay. And then you can apply to everything in your life. So, what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 live calls on Zoom on Wednesdays from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. Okay. If you miss it, it's recorded. You can always do a replay, and then you can connect with me for any questions that you may have. Okay. And the dates are 9th August, 16th August, and 23rd August. Plus, you will be on a WhatsApp group where I will support you on a daily basis with the practice. So I'll give you exercises to practice this in real time, real life, on a life basis. Okay. And the energy exchange is 3,540 rupees or 50 USD. This covers the whole of 3 weeks, the 3 calls plus the support that you will get from me on that group. And if required, even a one-on-one support, if wherever is required, really required, only then. Okay. Now that is the price of the program. But I also love people who are committed to their growth, to their success. And my tagline is committed to your success. So for those who are really committed to your success and you're willing to take fast action, yeah, there is a fast action offer wherein if you sign up by 7 o'clock tomorrow, 7 p.m. tomorrow, India time, you will get a 20% benefit. So you will pay 2,832 INR or just 40 USD. Okay. So to do that, to avail of this, just connect with Nena and she will help you register and sign up. Okay. So this is the detail. We'll share it on the groups as well. Okay. So Nena, we can take this off. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to address questions, answers, and I'm going to start off with Kim's question first. Gauri, I'm going to read yours later. I'm just going to start with Kim, okay? I gave away a lot of money to different persons and now I'm almost broke. So I gave it away with wrong attitude. Kim, is it possible for me to speak with you? Could you unmute yourself, love? Are you in a position to speak? Kim? No, she can't speak. Okay. So Kim, did you give, when you say you gave money to different persons, is it people who, individuals who wanted money and you gave it? Or did you give it to certain causes that you believe in? That's one question. And individual people who needed money. Yeah. No, so that's not what tithing is, sweetheart. Tithing is when you give back to the community, to humanity, to world for their growth, for contributing to their growth, their development. Yeah. From that place of I have so much and I'm so happy to give back so that these people can also, you know, grow and prosper and benefit. So like, for example, if you give it to an organization which supports you in your spiritual growth, for example, yeah, it is contributing to your spiritual growth. So you give back to them because they go about enabling many people to become empowered spiritually. So that is one way of tithing. Another way of tithing is when you tithe to organizations or even individuals who support education of many people, right? So like, so when you support education of people who do not have the requisite finances, but you support their education and help them become empowered people, those kind of places where you empower humanity, where you empower society, where you create good, where you create value, where you create beauty, benefit, and good for humanity, for a segment of humanity, those are the kind of places when you tithe from that place, which contributes to the well-being of a larger segment in the world, is what we are talking about. So I remember reading a story about a gentleman who started tithing. He may have started with 10%, but eventually what happened was his income grew so much that he would tithe 90% of his income, because 10% of his income was also abundant for him to live very lavishly. So he used to tithe 90%. That much his income expanded and grew. You look at some of the fantastic philanthropists. Yeah, they may have started very small, but they always had the heart to empower people, empower society, to give back, right? And look at the kind of companies that they have created. They have expanded, they have prospered, and there are many examples in every country. Okay, so that is the attitude. When you give from that place, universe supports your growth, because you are supporting, through your growth, you're able to support the growth of others. So the more value we create with what we tithe, the more you have to give. That's what the universe supports. I hope that helps you. No, my darling. Yeah. So it's not like you just give it away just like that. No, give it with purpose. Give it with the intent of creating value and benefit and good. So which will affect a larger segment. Yeah. Okay. You said that the current situation in our life is manifested and created by us. I always wanted a good relationship, but ended up having a bad breakup. Trusted and loved my partner unconditionally, but ended up being cheated. I always thought good things about the relationship, and never thought anything negative. So how did I create the situation and why did this happen to me? Okay. So Gauri, I also said something that it also has to be in accordance with what your soul chose as its soul evolution. So very often, while we may desire a great relationship, but we have to go through the opposite before we can come to that place where we can have appreciation of what we really desire. So when you came into a relationship, sure, Kiran, thank you so much for being here. So when your relationship went bust, so to say, even though you thought well, you did well, or whatever, at a soul level, not at a physical human level, but when you look at it as at a soul level, because you're an infinite being, remember that. This is your identity in this lifetime. And you have chosen a human embodiment to have a certain growth, to have a certain healing, to have a certain transformation. So it could be that you wanted to transform a wound, or you wanted to transform a belief that you hold. You wanted to transform some energy. So you had to choose a relationship which brought out or reflected that belief in you or that energy in you. Like, for example, if your belief was, I am not good enough, if there was a fundamental belief that I am not good enough, your relationship will reflect situations which will make you feel you're not good enough. And then there will come a moment when you will wake up and you'll say, hey, what's really going on here? Okay, because I do so much, I give so much, and yet my relationship is not working out. So what is it in me that needs to heal or that needs to transform? And that belief that I'm not good enough, I'm just giving you an example. It's not that that may be your belief, but there will be something that you believe, or there may be some wound that you want to heal, or some balancing of energies that has to happen. So there is some growth here for you. Remember, life always works for you. So the relationship will not work out because it's giving you an opportunity to heal something, to grow in some manner, to step into your power, to step into your true nature. So you will need to explore that, sweetheart. But this situation also holds good in it. I know it's very hard to accept that, but trust me on this one. There's a whole science behind it. I mean, there's a whole, not science, but there's a whole spiritual truth behind it. And I cover that in my program called Radical Forgiveness. In fact, we've just begun one, so people can still join in. Yeah, it's a 12-call program where you actually get to understand why anything happens in your life and how to view it. Okay, and it creates a lot of forgiveness, it creates a lot of freedom, and it also creates a lot of self-love and all of that. So you will realize that all of life is perfect just the way it is, and there's good in everything. Yeah, so if your fundamental belief is life is tough, that's what you will create more of. Yeah, I hope that helps, Gauri. Yeah, it's a deep topic, but please know that there's good in that. It's not a bad thing. Like I say, cancer is not a bad thing. And people used to think, you're nuts. I mean, who would choose cancer? Why would you choose cancer? If you are the person who chooses everything in your life, why would you choose cancer? Well, I know now that I have, expanded in my awareness and in my knowing and all of that, I know how I have really blossomed and grown and thrived through this journey with cancer. And it's an 11 years old journey. It's not like something that I've experienced just for a few months. I've gone through multiple surgeries, radiations, chemos. I've been through physical, mental, emotional hell. And yet, as I went deeper, because, I started questioning why did this happen, etc. Gradually, a lot of studies happened, a lot of training with a lot of people happened, and my insight started getting deeper and deeper. And I came across so much information as to how life functions. And I've gotten to this place where I'm constantly in gratitude because I can see how I have grown from it emotionally, mentally, physically, every way. I have grown in my power, in who I am, in my connection with God. And it's an amazing life. I mean, I am grateful. And when I share this perspective with other people going through cancer, they have found a new way of looking at their situation. And many of them have healed because they changed their attitude towards it. They stopped fighting it. They stopped treating it like their enemy. And they started collaborating and growing from it. And as they stepped into more and more of higher vibrations, it kind of permeated every cell and the healing started occurring. So there is a good in it, Gauri. Trust me. But you've got to explore that good. Okay? Anybody else has questions? Like you're going through something and you wanted input. How do I think about this? What do I do in this situation? I'm happy to answer. No? No questions?
Can I say something, Shruti?
Sure, Minal.
Yeah. So, like we were discussing, that we have to create that energy in our minds, and we go through the experience, whatever you want to create your life. But we have parallel things going on in our reality, which
Mhm.
are pulling us out of those experiences. We are like a lot of things are
Give me an
continuously we are
example.
experiencing.
Give me an
Like
example.
I told you, I want to travel more, right? And then I told, how can you think of traveling? You have a house to look after, you have a son to look after, you have a business to look after, you are being very selfish. And then comes the judgments that you are a failure, this, that. So to have that fun and that experience, to create that in our mind, we are continuously being hampered with other judgments and responsibilities and
Yeah.
medications. How to come out of it?
Yeah. So that's where what do you fundamentally believe comes into play. So you've got to recognize that the divine intelligence in you knows how to create that travel for you.
Okay.
See, when there is a dream in our heart, a longing that we have, you have to remember what is your role here. Your role is that you are a channel or an instrument for that divine intelligence to express itself through you and as you. You're the medium. Now, the divine intelligence wants to experience itself as fun, as laughter, and that yumminess that you will enjoy, that experience it wants to have of itself. Okay? So it puts that longing in your heart,
Yes.
right? Now, what is your role? Your role is to truly believe that if the dream has been put in my heart, it already exists as my possibility. Why doesn't everybody want to be a politician? Why doesn't everybody want to be an astronaut? So why do people have their very own, you know,
Desire.
dreams, different aspirations? Like many people may want to travel, but somebody is happy hitchhiking. Somebody wants a five-star experience. Somebody wants an Airbnb experience. Everybody wants to travel, but they all also have their own way of wanting to have that experience, right? It's very unique to each person. So this divine intelligence wants to experience itself. So here you go and put a dream. Why? Because it knows everything is a possibility, right? And if it can create a sun and the moon and the planets and the solar system and everything, you think it doesn't know how to create a travel plan for you? But you've got to act upon it. You are the one who has that free will to think what you want to think, to impress upon it. So when you start acting upon it with this kind of a mindset that it's occurred, I'm happy, I'm grateful, you are creating that passageway. So what happens is that because you're in a high vibration, that it's occurred, what you get along the way is whatever resources you require, whatever ideas you require. But you've got to be that match, that vibrational frequency of your vision for you to get the resources that are required. Now, how it will come about, we do not know, and we don't have to know. That's the best part. So, Nana, you know Nana, right? You've been coordinating with her. At one point of time, Nana was living with her joint family, and I have her permission to say this, so I'm sharing it with you. Nana wanted her own independent apartment because, families are growing, children need space, one room, four individuals, too much. So kids are growing, we want. So I said, so what stops you from having? She said, I don't have the, requisite money for it. I said, so when did money become a consideration for buying an apartment? She's like looking at me, are you nuts or something? How can you think of having an apartment when you don't have money in the bank, enough money? Not that she doesn't have money, but the kind of apartment and the kind of money you need. I said, listen, the divine intelligence knows how to create it. Are you willing to trust that intelligence? It's seeking an expression through you in the form of you having a nicer apartment, bigger apartment where you have more space. Why don't you give this a shot? So she started, I'm so happy and grateful that I have an apartment, and it just came to me with so much ease, etc. Guess what? She was gifted an apartment. She didn't have to spend a rupee for it.
Wow.
What she spent on was the interiors, but she didn't have to buy the apartment. She was given the apartment. Here, move in.
Wow.
And I can tell you many stories of many clients. Some of them are here on this call. Another client, and they're all now my family and friends. She was living in a ground floor apartment, which gets musty, and because there's seepage from the ground, etc., and affects her health, etc. And for 30 plus years of being married, her request to move into a better apartment had never been entertained, and she had completely given up on that dream till she, of course, got into my coaching program. And I said, what stops you from having a nice, large, bright, sunny, well ventilated apartment? She says, you're mad or what? In 30 years, I've never been given one thing that I've asked for. And you're talking about having an apartment? You must be joking. Believe me, I said, trust me, do this work. She started. She's moved into at a home, which is like a 4,000 square feet apartment. So in the same building, one apartment became available and the family decided to give it to them. And it's like got balconies all around. It's sunny, it's ventilated, it has the space and everything that was in her vision. So, it's possible. It's possible. Another friend of mine who had given up her corporate job, wanted to look after the kids, wanted to restart a career, didn't know what to do, and didn't have any contacts, etc. And we identified a business, because I also do business coaching. We identified a business for her, and where she would be happy doing what she wants to do. And she said, but I would love to have celebrities as clients, but I don't know a single celebrity. In fact, I don't know people in this city. Forget about, I said, nothing stops you, right? The divine intelligence knows how. So initially she used to be worried about, and where will I get my next client from? I said, stop worrying about that. The divine intelligence knows how to create it. Today, she's got the topmost celebrities of Bollywood as her clients, industrialists as her clients, and she does houses and 8,000, 10,000 square feet apartments and stuff like that. Okay. So the divine intelligence knows. So get yourself out of the way. Kim, you're asking me a very tough question. Which course do you recommend to take first? Forgiveness course or Root Yourself? The forgiveness course is a very deep course and it's life transforming. I would highly recommend that. If you can do both, do both. But I would highly recommend for you because I've met you, I've talked to you, I've interacted with you, I would highly recommend go for the forgiveness course. We've just done one call, there's not much done there. So you can catch up. Why do you think that your soul chose cancer? Okay, so there were a lot of growth moments. So one of the things that I recognize, Gauri, and I'm sharing this within complete vulnerability, and please honor that. I realized that one of the wounds that I wanted to experience and transform in my life as a soul was abandonment. So I chose a family and an experience of abandonment. I felt very abandoned, when my dad got transferred to a small village and there were no English medium schools, and they had to put me in a boarding school. I can today say the word put me, but I used to say they left me in a boarding school. So I experienced abandonment, and the belief that I wanted to transform in this lifetime was that I'm not good enough and nobody loves me and nobody cares about me. Like I don't matter. And that created the energy of victimhood and a lot of anger and a lot of rage. And because I believe nobody loves me, nobody cares for me, and nobody cares for me because I'm not good enough, I kept creating a lot of abusive relationships in my life. And my relationships, when I say relationships, I'm not talking about necessarily intimate relationships, but also friendships and relatives and stuff like that. So I went on to become the black sheep of the family. I was shown the door, my way or the highway. I was on the highway, no money, no job. So I had like a whole load of anger, victimhood, abandonment issues. So that's how I grew up, bitter, angry. And when the cancer happened, somebody told me about alternate healing. And that's when I started recognizing the mind, body, spirit connection. And I started studying. And then, especially when I did the forgiveness, I became a radical forgiveness coach. I really understood the purpose of cancer, which was that I had chosen to transform and heal and transform the abandonment wound, transform the energy of victimhood, the rage and the anger that I felt into love. Love is my true nature. Love is your true nature. You come from love. I come from love. So ultimately, all our experiences are in an invitation for us to bring love into every experience, because that's who we truly are. So today, uh, I don't live in victimhood. I changed my neighborhood. So I live in happyhood now and empowerhood. I don't live in victimhood. I was able to literally drop and even transform my rage into gratitude, into love for all of those people who at one point of time I hated because I felt that they had abused me, they had cheated me, they had wronged me. But today I have gratitude, I have love for them, and I have returned to that true nature in those scenarios. Am I saying I'm 100% love all the time? 100%? No way. I still can lose it once in a while, but by and large, I live with that energy of love, generosity, compassion, kindness, which is who we truly are, right? So my connection with the divine grew, my connection with my higher self became strong. So I work, collaborate with my spiritual team. My mission is to take this message out to tell people that you're bigger than what's going on in your life. Everything that's going on in your life is your invitation to step into your power, to step into your true nature, to return to oneness. And that's the work I do. So all of this has helped me go within, question, and discover my purpose in life, my mission in life, and do God's work today. So that's what I do. And it's the journey which forced me to look at life more deeply and go beyond the physical, right? So today I look at life from a spiritual perspective, and I realize that our mental disharmony, our emotional disharmony, our physical disharmony, the root cause is spiritual disharmony, because we believe that we are apart from God, we are separate from our source. And that separation is also essential for soul evolution. And that's what radical forgiveness calls are all about, where we learn that everything in our life served a role. It was the stepping stone. We had to first experience separation to ultimately appreciate oneness. It's like you have to be deprived of water and feel very, 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 very thirsty to really appreciate water when you finally get it. So to appreciate that oneness, to appreciate kindness, you have to experience the lack of it. To really have appreciation for love, for care, for support, you have to first experience the opposite of it. And that is why we choose this earth, which has duality. So we, up until now, have chosen to grow by learning from the opposites. We choose the opposites for our growth. But now, as we are awakening to our true nature and who we truly are, we recognize, and we are beginning to recognize, that we don't always have to learn and grow from opposites, right? But to get there, you have to go through some tough stuff to have that awakening, that awareness, that growth, etc. So everything has a purpose. Everything is a stepping stone. So that's what Cancer invited me to grow in many, many, very ways, and I'm really grateful. Oh, thank you, Vanita, Amrita, Neera, everybody, Gauri. Thank you, Karuna. Thank you so much. Does anybody else have any questions? All good? Awesome. So if you feel that you want to take you want to practice living like this on a daily basis, join me on that 21 days journey. Yeah, where we'll apply all these principles in money, in relationship, in health. I look forward to working with you. And remember, for those of you who are choosing it within 24 hours, there's a benefit available to you. God bless you. I love you all. And thank you for your time. And may you grow from strength to strength, from love to more love. God bless. Bye.
Thanks so much. Bye.